Oh, welcome back to Britain's Hidden History with me, Ross Broadstock, reading from Wilson and Blackett. And today we've got the story of the other King Henry. How many King Henrys were there? You think there was 8? Everyone thinks there were 8. Actually, 9 King Henrys, okay? One doesn't get recognised. And Wilson Blackett uses another example of how history, British history particularly, is being rewritten for political ends, usually by the church. Okay, and you can see how this works in this instance. We had Henry II, we call him Henry II the Elder, okay, because there's going to be 2 Henry IIs, as you will see. Henry II, married to Eleanor, had 8 children altogether. 3 sons became the King of England. 3. Richard I, not the eldest son, alright? He wasn't the first to inherit. This is how Wilson and Blackett put it. So his eldest son ruled England as Henry II B, another Henry II, or younger, for 22 years. So actually there were 9 kings named as Henry in England and not 8. It seems that the establishment cannot even count up to 10, or 9 in this case. King Henry II A, the elder, preferred to live in his vast domains of France, where he owned around 65% of the country, about 2/3 of the country. England was governed. This is where the church comes in. Oh no, not immediately, because his chancellor was Thomas à Becket. And King Henry A finally ordered Thomas à Becket to become the Archbishop of Canterbury. So Thomas à Becket obliged his monarch, and on a Friday became a priest, on a Saturday made Archbishop, and on Sunday conducted church services. None of this lifetime of piety and being called by God and inspiration in those days. Oh no. Political appointment, king says you're the next Archbishop. Alright, so there he was. Now, the twist, because don't forget, Thomas has been quite happily running England. So then King Henry II ordered the new Archbishop, Thomas à Becket, to crown his son Henry as King of England B. This is the bit that gets missed out. Thomas realised that he no longer ruled England as a viceroy, and that he was being demoted and set aside. So Thomas refused to crown Prince Henry as as King of England, and he then left England and went to the court of the King of France. Now this was a virtual act of treason, as at the time there was virtually a state of Cold War between England and France. And also, Henry II was vigorously opposed to further infiltrations and land grabbing by the Bishop of Rome, who was tied in with the King of France. So Thomas à Becket is going directly against his monarch. Right, so the Archbishop of York instead duly crowned young Prince Henry as King Henry II B, if you like, of England at Reading Abbey. As we saw in Richard, you don't have to be crowned at Westminster Abbey. You don't even need to be crowned by the Archbishop of Canterbury. That's another myth. So he's a legitimate King of England. So the result was chaos, as Thomas à Becket claimed that only an Archbishop of Canterbury was allowed to crown a King of England, and he refused to do that. The Bishop of Rome saw his chance to intervene and cause trouble, and he supported Becket. Surprise, surprise. This meant that King Henry II the Younger was being declared an unlawful king. In the ensuing state of high tension, Thomas à Becket returned to England, confident that no one would touch him as an archbishop. Henry II the Younger, he removed himself to Calais in France, and 4 of his knights crossed over into England and proceeded to execute the troublesome archbishop in his cathedral at Canterbury. And you got the whole cult of Thomas in the medieval times. He's practically a saint. So, which King Henry had Thomas à Becket executed for treason? Was it the old King Henry II, living down south in France, or was it the young King Henry waiting in Calais? Of course, the official version is that the old king sort of hinted that he wanted him killed, but no one's really sure, you know. Anyway, as the young King Henry died before his father, then his younger brother, Richard the Lionheart, became the next king when the old Henry died. And when Richard died, his surviving brother John became king after murdering his nephew Arthur by throwing him from a castle tower. What a pleasant bunch. I'm going to get on to John next, because he is absolutely crucial to the whole ruining of particularly Welsh history, but all British history to a certain extent, particularly as we'll see in the next couple of videos, okay? So just to show, here's Henry II of England. 3 daughters, 5 sons. 3 would be king. Although Henry the young king, here we go, he was titular king of England. Duke of, Duke of Normandy, Count of Anjou and Maine. He's the only English king since Norman conquest to be crowned while his father was still alive, the rest of that says, alright? So, he was king, he was crowned, he was made king of England. He was the only one in England, his father was in France, nothing to do with it. So you can read about Henry the young king, need to get my new teeth in. So you can read all about him and how he did all this. And how he officially rebelled against his father. And he's upset because his father would never actually give him all the power to be an independent king. Seems to have been written to suit them. Oh, hang on, I'm supposed to go back on to... I was going to show you Thomas Becket. But anyway, you can see the story of Thomas Becket. You can check that out for yourself. And you can see how he objected to this crowning and he was against it. But actually, there were 9 Henrys, not 8. And he definitely was a king. And he was crowned. And he ruled for a considerable period. So it shouldn't really be doubted. Problem is, what do you rather have? Do you want to have this heroic martyr, Thomas Becket, struck down in his church, this pious man, this man of God, this archbishop, by knights ruthlessly? Or do you want this ruthless politician who quite like running England without the idea of a new young King Henry taking over the show that he'd rather become attached to? So there we are, take your pick. A bit more hidden history, and we go on to John next, who's always portrayed as the absolute evil incarnate of our history. John was a tyrant, John was a Tartar, all that stuff. But you'll find there's more to it, and there's a reason why he is portrayed so badly, whereas Richard is portrayed, and Thomas Becket are portrayed so well. We'll come on to that next one. So please remember to subscribe and hit that notification button so that you'll know when the videos go up. There's going to be at least one a day from now on is the aim. All right? Short and sweet, but lots of them. So until next time, Hedwch.